was like from Melbourne, you came into a park, and this is just entering Africa with the vibes, the smell, all your senses are in motions. You can relate to everything that you see, or you hear, or you smell.
Okay.
Hey, you ready?
I found out about SOA originally because I was driving through Brunswick and I saw these beautiful people walking, and I recognized one. I was like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "Oh, we're going to Sounds of Africa Festival." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" The SOA Festival, it's happening in here. And I had something on that day, and I have a pain going on. What is this? And then the next day, I see it everywhere. I hear all about it, realized I've missed out. I'm full of this that I'd missed out on this thing. And so ever since then, I've just stayed in tune with what SOA is doing. I've been blessed to be a part of it and play and perform. And that gut feeling I had was right. I was missing out on a great day. Anyone who hasn't been, you've missed out on a great day. It's really dope.
I think it all started from Popcorn Funk.
Yep.
We went to a Popcorn Funk event and we were like, it's good, but I think people want more African vibes, more Afrobeats. And it was a time when Afrobeats was picking up. And then we went to this event. He called me. He's like, "Oh man, there is this event that is happening in the city." And then we were there and they played Afrobeats for like 1 hour, maybe less than 1 hour. And then after that we were like, why are they playing just for like less than an hour?
Alcatraz.
And then from there we were like, we should do a night.
I was DJing somewhere at the time, and Pires heard me DJ, and Pires and Edmund had this thing about starting an African night.
It was actually the only night that for me, I was actually able to get into, to find music, Afrobeats music with the African culture, with African people, completely authentic and vibrant. That was the only nights, and that's probably why they were so famous and so entertaining at the time.
One of my friends was like, "Hey Suti, let's go out tonight. There's this cool place. They play African music." And I'm like, "Okay, let's see what it's all about." And I went to an SOA night for the first time. And I remember going in there and just feeling like it was home.
And then we decided, you know what, people are actually very interested into the culture, and there are some people that can't experience the music and the culture in the club. There are some people also that prefer these daytime events. And we also went to different other festivals and realized that people in Melbourne are very open to discovering these different cultures and festivals.
We wanted to attract a lot of Australians as well, and
Yes.
we're like, how can we expose Afrobeats more,
Exactly.
Not just the music, but the culture as well. And that was one thing we were like, you know what, I think a festival would be a good way of doing it,
put it out
and
there.
then from there, the SOA Festival was created.
Yes.
It's one of those events where a lot of people who have got interest in multiculturalism has the opportunity to go and experience Africa. So they experience Africa in the form of music, in the form of arts, in the form of food, and all sort of things,
We hope it's given you a taste of what we can offer, and we invite you to keep coming back to Melbourne.
What a treat it is to have the Sounds of Africa Festival here today.
Even our children who are born here who've never been to Africa, when they go to the SOA Festival, it's actually a good opportunity for them to experience Africa in that little space here in Australia.
I feel like we're a true reflection of Melbourne's community because absolutely everyone is there. And another great thing about our festival is that it's not just focused on one group. It's for families, it's for single people, it's for children, it's for everyone.
Come on, everybody, come close a little bit, come on.
I feel, as a mother as well, I feel like I can give my children the opportunity to experience my culture in a way that I necessarily didn't get to experience, if that makes sense. I feel like I've learned to love my African culture more, and because of that, I can pass it on to my kids in the right way, so yeah.
I guess when I think of Sounds of Africa, coming from South Africa, the first word that comes to my mind would be Ubuntu, and that means like the spirit of togetherness. And that, I think, is what Sounds of Africa is. It's not just about being African or being any other kind of ethnicity. It's about that spirit of togetherness of everyone and sharing with everyone and bringing everyone together.
Usually we offer opportunity to any artist who's interested to be part of the festival to just place an application online, where we receive so many. The way that we decide who is or not going to be part is just to think about having a diverse festival where we have people from different countries to represent the continent.
You dance a little bit, we dance a little bit. So we become 50-50. So guys, if we can go back a little bit and have a seat. So those people here, go back a little bit. And the baby in the pram, go back a little bit, that'll be awesome.
To be part of SOA Festival, it was something great for me and my band, because we need something like we need in Melbourne. You know what I mean? We need where Africans can express themselves, to see their friends, to see different food, to see different culture, to see children happy, smiling, you know, from the council. We need the community. So to be part of it is great, you know what I mean? And it makes me to create more like a traditional dancing when I'm going to be part of it to perform. So I bring my ideas that create this, because I remember the second year, I create a big traditional dancing piece for SOA Festival, where I let all the guys carry a big, massive drums. That's what we do in Ghana. That when they carry the chief and the queen, and it's also walking through, people drumming, dancing, having a flag. We got a powder our face, doing, you know, we got a whistling, things is going on. So it brings the flavor of Africa. You know what I mean? And it's something different. And the feedback I heard for that moment, it was something like, wow, my God. You know what I mean? We never see this in Melbourne before. And I'm so happy that I got a chance from SOA Festival to present this kind of culture from my hometown, from my country, because we can't go back and perform there.
Let's go.
SOA is super inspiring when I heard about it and what was happening with it, and that there was this event like this. When I was a kid, I remember us dreaming of hip-hop festivals. A festival just hip-hop, not a little tiny stage and all rock, just hip-hop. And they started to happen. And to see, like, here, just in Melbourne, not even having to go as far as, like, full, you know, world music festivals, just Melbourne scene, to have a festival that, you know, bodies all of that, brings everyone together in such a beautifully curated space and with such great acts. It's amazing to know that that exists and that you can be a part of it. And even if you're not playing, you want to go and hang out, because there's always a great vibe and great DJs and just good people there. I feel like it's more about community than just about performances and income. Like a lot of festivals, it's like, this is happening, that's happening, and it's costing this much, and we want this much. Whereas with SOA, I feel like they're putting this together for the community and for anybody who wants to engage and be part of it.
Africa has so many different foods. So I try my best to give that chance to someone to say, okay, I'm from western part of Africa, so I can find that specific food somewhere. Say, oh, yeah, I remember this from where I'm coming from. Give them that a little bit of reminder of where they're coming from by just eating.
Surya is an African street food event, you know. It's an African street food thing which brings people together. I am a chef. I love cooking. I mean, it's a passion of mine. And when I do this Surya, it's actually that inner, you know, deeper passion of mine that I put into this recipe, just so that people can actually have something that, you know, in Australia, that feels like they were having it in Africa.
So this is experiencing Africa, West Africa, in the heart of Series, Melbourne.
The food that we served was 100% the way my mum cooks it at home. We never made excuses for it. We didn't make it comfortable for anybody. We didn't reduce the spice levels. We didn't, whitewash anything for you. We gave you exactly how my mum cooked it. We never changed the recipe. And I remember my mum looking at me day one of us opening the restaurant and her saying to me, like home? And I looked at her and I said, yeah, like home. She was like, don't I have to make it a bit different, like for the white market or the Melbourne market? And I told her all the time, I said, no, this is our home. We're sharing our home. And I felt that privilege and that honor to be able to share that with my mother and to be able to present our home to the Melbourne community. So yeah.
And African games from South Africa. In the past, some of the things that we've brought to Sounds of Africa for the family experience have been African drumming circles, dancing, arts and crafts. We've made play spaces where the kids can play freely and parents can sit and relax. We've actually also had face painting, which we've had regularly every year, as well as henna. I think one of the highlights that I really enjoyed last year was having Valanga, a South African storyteller, come and do African storytelling in the beautiful, exuberant way that he does. There's lots of festivals out there that exist that are for adults only, and I think Sounds of Africa, we want to share part of our culture with the community. So we don't want to cut off a large part of the community of sharing culture with families, because a large part of the community are families. So making sure that we keep that open to make it an all-age event so that families can come is really important.
Coronavirus has affected my life in a big way, from my performing, my act, my everything a lot, because as a performer, everyday gym, everyday training, go to the workshops, dancing. When it came, I couldn't do anything. And then not only me, it take a lot from the other communities and the things we miss, things we love to do and everything, and it take everything. So it has taken a lot, and then, like a SOA Festival, it's like, that's our heaven, you know what I mean? SOA Festival is like our heaven, because see Africans working, see Africans talking, see different countries, it's something that we needed, and we didn't have it this year. So it's like, it take part of you and your family away.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it become more something interesting. People see their country flag there because they come there, it's Africa.
Yeah, that village next year we're going to have tents everywhere, tables.
You guys know how to dance? Can you dance?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, Adam does.
Everybody say yeah! Oh man, I can't hear you. Say yeah!
Yeah!
Are you ready to dance? 1, 2. After the 3, I want everybody to go crazy. Any crazy dance? You ready?
Crazy,
any crazy. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Are you ready? All right, here we go. We're going to count 1 to 3. Louder, everybody go to count together. Let's go! 1, 2, 3, crazy!
I've maintained my passion a lot because that's inside me. And I got a big garage, so I still dancing in my garage because I don't want to feel like sitting down doing nothing. So I keep going. I love to be an African, and I love that I'm a dancer, because going to my root and my culture, I think, is something big for me. And all the dream is about dancing, and it's about Africa, because I love it. I cherish it than anything in the world. So without dancing, I don't know what I'm going to be or what I'm going to do in my life. Yeah.
So the main purpose with the SOA Festival and this bar and a lot of other African-owned businesses is integration. We're trying to have people understand who we are, and we're trying to have people understand our values. When people connect in an environment that is fun and friendly, like at the festival or when you come into a bar for a drink, people get a different persona of what the African culture is all about and a different feel. It takes out the stigma, it takes out that intimidation that people relate to when they deal with Africans. So when you come to a nice festival that's vibrant, that is happy, and there's dancing and there's food, and not have any problems, and everybody go home happy and learn something about each other, those are the kind of things we thrive for. SOA Festival is a big part of positivity in regards to what the African people are about and what they bring. I think people are actually starting to feel it. I'm starting to hear this Jerusalem song on mainstream radio, which is, you know, probably one of the first African songs to ever be played on mainstream radio. So I think we're getting there. I think we're definitely making progress.
I want to see Africa seen in the world the way Europe is seen in the world, the way other countries are seen in the world. I want to see it seen for the beauty that they have in Madagascar, so, you know, the beautiful cities in Cape Town that they have, Morocco, West Africa. I want the culture of Africa to be seen and shared, not just the token third world country ads that they see, that they showcase on television.
The way we look at Sound of Africa Festival is to represent the continent, but it is also just to show what Africans are about, show a better, a positive, and a more authentic profile of what Africans are. To the world, it means that now we've got a voice, we've got an opportunity to showcase and to speak out, and we are here, and I hope you hear us loud and clear.
Africa's place in Australia and the world is only just beginning, because I feel like we've now come to a point where African people are taking pride in who they are. And you see it in how so many different cultures enjoy Afrobeats. You know, Afrobeats has been almost like a bridge, you know, to international opportunities. You see it where you have more African people represented in movies, in music. More African people have opportunities overseas, whereas when I left South Africa back in 2004, no African person had bridged that gap.
They're young. The young children who have that imagination, who believe in their culture, who believe in coming together to bring their culture in the Australian community. This is the first thing that make me be proud of SOA. It's not the old people, it's young children. This is what I really support, because that means that they are proud of who they are. That means they want to say, I'm proud to be a Black African, and I want all my children, all African children, to be proud to be African and Black.
There's always room for improvement, and there's always room for improvement from a perspective of Sounds of Africa. But I must say as well, in that same breath of words, the Sounds of Africa is probably the best African festival that I've been to and I've experienced. I think particularly for me, prior to the discovery of Sounds of Africa, or maybe the inception of Sounds of Africa, what it was like for me growing up here as an African is it's answered a question. It's provided an outlet. But can it be better? Of course it can. It always can. But is it good? Absolutely. Is it probably one of the best festivals in Melbourne? Definitely.
We're not doing it for us. We're not even doing it for just the people who are here that we can see today.
Yep.
We are doing it for the people who might be having their kids today and they want to discover a little bit of Africa, because you cannot really imagine that educating your kids in this environment and giving them the same education that you received, for example, back home, it's not going to be easy. But we want to give you a little bit of help through SOA and through the events that we do, and probably all the products that we'll be launching later, we never know. But We want to give you a little bit of what you received when you were growing up, a little bit of that culture, help you transmit that culture to the next generation so that we can always be representing Africa properly.
Yeah, and also feel at home, you know?
To feel at home here. That's, for me, this is really what SOA is about.
Yeah, to feel at home.
Always have an African representation that is original for the community, and you know you can trust it. Yeah, that's what, for me, that's what it is for me. They were giving these lessons. It was really nice to see this. It was really nice.
I think that the amphitheater
What are you doing there?
makes it.
Who's
I was checking everything was going okay, and I jump on stage with
Jay's like, yeah, this was so nice. People were just dancing.
Yeah, this was electric. This was electric, 100%.
Look at
You can look at the smiles, the eyes are open.
Look at how busy
And
it
you
is.
see that interaction, that mingling of people.
Yeah.
Like when you look at it, you can't even say who's the majority. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different shades of people, and
all mixed in.
and this is what we're about.
What I would like to do
It really is a place where you can connect with the local community. You know, it's by the local community, for the local community.
You know, you get food, fashion, and music from all over Africa.
There were food stalls everywhere, there were DJs, there were musicians, there were dancers, just a lot of fun.
You feel the rhythm hit your soul and you're immediately uplifted.
Sound of Africa, I love you.